Whatever.
It's sometime during the day. Commissioner, how are you? One day at a time.
One day at a time, sweet Jesus. One day at a time.
Yeah. Right, I know you were miserable for a long period of time after your accident, and I'm not going to be tied up that long, but I'm worried. Yeah. No. Especially when they can't tell you the truth anymore. Oh, the video. I've been walking 7 days. 21 days later. Yeah, you can start walking now.
On a rainy day like today.
Oh, well, my problem is I have a decision that runs from here to there. And it's just, it rubs. It's not fun. I know.
How's your weekend? Yeah. I'm familiar with that.
Okay, you ready? All right, I'll call the meeting of the retirement board together. We'll start with Brandon for the roll call.
Brandon Holmes.
Karen Prince Thompson.
Mark Michaud.
Danny Lambert for David Hooten.
Brian Mon.
Butch Freeman.
Keith Block.
Donna Jackson.
And it was properly posted on May 19th in our Pledge of Allegiance. Who wants to do that? I'll do it. All right, Butch Freeman. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 25th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Show that I abstained since I wasn't here.
Okay. Any items on the consent agenda for individual consideration? If not, is there a motion to approve it as a whole?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Danny?
Right. We had a balance of $955,781 at the end of April in the forfeiture account. Projecting out the last 2 months, we should end the year with about $1.1 million in this fund.
Questions of Danny? Is there a motion to receive his report?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Sure. Number 8 is a standard renewal for annual pension financial audit. There's no change to the price. It's $5,500 still. It's asking for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then, Keith, you requested this item?
Yeah, I apologize. I wasn't at the last meeting, but when we left the March meeting, I questioned, and I was still questioning, the length of the blackout period. And I take it only people here be okay. There's nobody, is there anybody from Invest Trust? So it's kind of one-sided. I guess the point that I was trying to make is that we had talked, and there were some other things that were talked about. And going now, from what I understand, is be okay with it, answer the question, is that the blackout period is going to be approximately 24 days, or it's set up for 30 days right now, with a possibility of it shortening by at least 6 if everything goes well. Is that correct?
Yes, and so you're correct. The blackout starts June 1st at Investress at 3 o'clock, and then they will initiate the asset transfer on June 13th. We'll receive the funds via what's called a B-52 process, since we both use the same trading platform. And so those will come over essentially like a wire. There's one that may take an extra day, but we should receive everything the next business day, the 14th or the 15th. We should have all the funds. And then we'll start getting the plan live. We did put into the notice that it was going to be July 1st as a target. We did that just to allow for, if there's anything, wrong with records, but we've already been working with Investrust. And so our goal is to have it out no later than the 24th.
Well, I know you can't speak for Investrust, but and I did get a call from them. They said that there is going to be some reconciliation of the loans that they have to do, and part of that 14 days was the reconciliation of the loans. Is there anything else besides that in that 14-day that blackout period? My concern, and I've made it real clear when I've been called on this, is that a 30-day blackout period for these 12 to 1,400 participants is it's long, and and we're in a volatile market, and everybody says, well, the market can go down, but it also can go up, and you can't recommend, and we can't as a board sit here and recommend to those of you who are concerned about that 30 days go to cash, because then we'd be making an investment recommendation, and I'm not about to do that. So explain to me if there's any way to squeeze this. I'm at a point now where I put a motion on there, but I'll withdraw it if I know that there's going to be something we can squeeze out of this deal. Because I'm telling you right now, and I apologize to the other members of this board. I talked to a couple of the other elected officials who do not sit on this board. They're afraid their employees aren't going to be happy, and I'm just being honest. So and I've sat on this board long enough to know that when the employees aren't happy, we usually have a crowd here the next meeting. So
Sure.
let's try to.
Well, the only thing I can speak of is once we receive all the data and have everything over, and obviously we will do everything we can to get the plan live as soon as possible. I can't speak to Investrust on if there's any consolidation on their side, but we do have everything prepared for the assets to transfer on the 13th. I can ask them. We have weekly calls with Investrust every Friday morning with the prior record keeper, and so that's something I can ask them, but. Mark has told me that that's the time frame that they need.
I guess my other question, to be okay, because I guess without Investrust being here, I guess it's the only way I can do it, is it appears that maybe Investrust, because of this fact that they are moving away from the retirement plan business, or if they're that shorthanded, it's going to take them 2 weeks to get caught up. Is be okay. It got the capacity if they have to loan them some staff to get them caught up so they can get it done. Because I'm looking at everything. I want to take care of my participants. Okay, I'm not here we're not here talking about what's the business right thing to do. We're talking about what's the right thing for the participants. If there's something that you guys can do together, and if that means because they don't have enough record people in their staff to kind of get it done, loan them. Could you all loan them the staff to get the job done? I'm dead serious. This is a real concern.
Yeah, unfortunately, we use different record keeping systems, and so they use Relias, we use Omni, and so even if that was a possibility, there'd be no way for them to have experience on the other record keeping system. But we can talk to Investrust and see if there's anything we can do to shorten it on their side. Or I'm happy to have those conversations, and we talk frequently, but I can't really speak to Investrust, unfortunately.
I understand it, and again, I'm probably stuck at withdrawing this, but my biggest concern is, and I want it on the table. I know that Bank of Oklahoma is doing everything they can, and I know that it's taken a long time to get to this point. So I was a little bit taken back when we found out that and Investrust says, well, it's going to take us so many days for us to do what we got to do. If there's something that can be done to move it up, we would, as a board representing the county and as people that are concerned about our participants, I'm going to put it point blank. We need to have an answer about how to get it to shorten it up. And I'm going to tell you, 24 days is still too long. I know we've talked about, the market could go up and these people are going to be happy. The market go down, they're going to be mad. The market goes sideways. Does anybody care? Yeah, because these people, even with a blackout period and it goes sideways, they still want to know what the hell's going on. So I wish this had come up 2 months ago, and I thought there might be a way. If there would have been back then when I heard that there was going to be an extended blackout period, I would have thought there would have been more, but I wasn't here last week to put my foot down, and now it looks like the horse has left the barn. So, is there anything else that either the county or anybody can do to help you guys?
I mean, we're well ahead of schedule right now, because it's not often the prior record keeper is motivated to help. And so from a standpoint where we're at, I think we're in a really good spot for this being such a large, complex plan, because the 457 is going to be pretty straightforward. And so, yeah, we can just continue conversations and see what we can do if there's anything that can be done with InvestTrust.
John, is there anything that you are aware of from InvestTrust side that can be done to speed this up? Or is there anything else you are aware of that could be hanging it up?
Not that I'm aware of. I was curious too on how long does the transition or the blackout period usually last in situations like this?
And so, yeah, that I can speak to. So typically, if you have a straightforward, and I'm going to use the for-profit world as an example, if you have a straightforward 401k plan that allows one loan and it doesn't have a lot of nuances, typically it's 10 to 14 business days is what a blackout period looks for a very smooth transition. And so this is going smooth, but due to the complexity of the plan and the number of loans outstanding, InvestTrust does need additional time for reconciliation on their side.
I'm far more concerned about everything going very smooth and everything being done correctly
Yes.
than I am on the speed of it. A month seems like a long time, but you said you're hopeful for like 21 days, 24 days, something like that.
Yeah.
If it is, let's say you are able to get it 21 days, how are we going to notify folks that the markets are back open?
That's a great question. So I will work with our education team, and we're going to put together an email blast. We'll put together posters that you can hang up. And so as soon as I get notification that the plan's live, I will send those to John for distribution, and so they'll know the day the plan goes live. And so once that occurs, we'll provide you all with materials to give to the participants, how to access their account, where to log in, mobile app information, and so.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to withdraw number 9.
Okay, is there any others that want to make any motion on this item? Hearing none, there's no action on this item. Thank you for your time, sir. Item 10.
Sure. Item 10 is our first renewal with Bank of Oklahoma effective 7/1. This is the same agreement that we currently have with no changes.
Is there any other questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 11.
Item 11 is the BOK agreement for the 457 plan effective July 1st, and there are no changes compared to our current agreement.
Move approval.
Sorry. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 12.
Item 12 is our annual actuarial report for the pension plan. Only one change to this, the cost increased by $330.
So what is the cost?
Total cost is $11,400. Previously, it was $11,170.
And this is the valuation on the DB plan, not the DC plan.
Correct.
This is just for the defined benefit to determine where our
Good.
accrual is.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
13.
Now, 13 through 22, these are items from Bank of Oklahoma, and they're here to speak on these items. So I'll bring James up, and we can kind of go over each one.
Do you have them in order, or
Just
You might just run through the list. We may be able to take them as a whole.
okay? So the first one, item number 14, is just for the registration of the Mellon Stable Value Fund. That's just something that we need in order to proceed with the transfer on the 13th. Number 14 is the direction of investments. Since we are a co-fiduciary on the investments, we have to have a signed letter of direction on file. And so all that does is represent the current funds that are in the lineup and bring in everything over.
I've got a question. I was surprised when I saw the 3 commissioners on there, notwithstanding the fact that one of them always by statute serves as chair. But those being the only 3 names, and 2 of them, frankly, for a year at a time, 2 years at a time, have absolutely nothing to do with exception approving the contracts. Is this the way that we had it with Invest Trust? Does anyone know?
The board could modify this and just list the chairman if they would like to.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. And so that was, I was unaware of that when we prepared the document. In other county governments that we work with, the BOCC has to sign everything. I understand that's not the case with Oklahoma County, and so it can be changed to whoever would like to sign it. And if you don't have the document, I can give the work to you. Work from that.
I think I would, given the choice between the two, I think I'd prefer to have the chairman, even if that changes every year. I think I'd still.
What are you saying, Gretchen?
As I recall, the history of Oklahoma County has been dual. Initially, it was approved by this board, and ultimately approved by the board.
Even if the chairman signs it, it'd have to be cleared by the BOCC, right?
Well, but this, I don't know that I agree with that, because this is, where did I read that down here? Yeah, to affect transactions such as execute agreements, that I understand. Investment direction comes from this board. In fact, you're going to see that here in a minute. Direct distributions. Why would that have to be a county commissioner that would direct distributions? We don't now.
Well, okay, we may be splitting hairs here, but ultimately the contract your services is approved by the board.
As any contract.
Right, and aren't these
These, no, I'm sorry. These are all functionary documents. And so just having the signed letter of direction, authorized signers on who can direct us for distributions and sign off on those and give us direction on those. And so the only thing that would really be considered, in my opinion, documents would be the loan policy and then the SDO policy. But I think everything else is just kind of a functionary document. Well, just something that we have to have signed. So like the letter of direction just authorizes us to use the funds, and as an example, allows us to use those funds inside the plan. We just have to have some directive from the county that tells us that that's approved.
As long as it's not going to the actual contract, I understand your point.
Okay, so do we need to do individual?
Sure. Okay.
So do you want to take one out then and modify it?
Well, as
Probably.
a matter of fact, and this is on there's two different items this is on, and my numbering system here, I won't go into that. Okay, so I would, I'd like to, I think, take
Okay.
14 and 15 together.
Go ahead.
All right. I'd move that on items 14, the form, and item 15, the form of responding to the 401 Alpha and the 457, that on both of those forms, that the chairperson be the one authorized to sign them or to provide these directions.
Okay, and we can make that change for you really quick. It's not going to be an issue.
Okay. Right. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, does clerk have that? You clear? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And now do we need to approve those items? Is that, you think, as a separate motion? Yes, okay. DA says yeah.
Move approval, item 14, 15, as amended.
Sirs, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, sir, for indulging us.
Yes.
16,
Okay, 16 and 17 are going to be the same. There's just one document for each plan, but those are the authorized signers. And so what that allows is if we need a distribution form signed or something, some type of withdrawal or document signed at a participant level, that authorizes them to do so.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, just again, my numbering system here. So you're on what one right now?
16 and 17.
16 and 17, which is my 10 and 11. Different. Yeah, I'm happy with that, I guess.
The rest of the board, pleased? Is there a motion?
So move.
Well, would those be the same as
Yeah, that's,
14 and 15?
I may have, like I said, these are different.
'Cause the 16 and 17 is talking about the authorized signers.
Yes.
We need to go back and vote on 13 too.
13, yeah,
Yeah.
13's been blown off.
He said this
No, I've
was
got
so the
that part. That's not-
participants
that's not
could
what
sign
I'm
with their own funds, right? Without it coming to the chairman?
I'm sorry, on which number?
You said this would allow participants the ability to sign on their own funds?
Well, if, so like a distribution form, if that comes through, typically it is signed by the participant, and then it would also be signed by a member of John's team verifying the vesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for distribution, certainly they come through our office, we verify that they're vested and sign off on them,
And
so.
you sign off without us having to.
Yeah, we sign off on all those, and I think there'll be more of an automated process, would be okay.
Yeah.
Well, unless there's any changes to the rest of these, I think we can take 13 with the rest of the group. But if there's other initial or amendments, that's what I was wondering, if you have other amendments.
Well, I think I do, because I think what I thought was I was amending a while ago, I did not amend. And so item number, again, I apologize. I had a different lady set this stuff up than I am. All right, so we are on 16, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that is,
Right here.
okay, yeah, that one I don't care anything about. Yeah, I care about it, but. No, I have nothing
Okay.
on that one.
And what about 17?
Now,
Because he's addressing
17.
both of them at the same time.
All right. Now 17 is this one. 17 and 18 are the ones that I thought is what I was amending a while ago, and I am not. That's not what I intended to do. What I intended to do was on 17, 16, and 17, and where all three commissioners were on the form.
Okay, so. Okay.
16.
Any form that has all three.
Is this one?
You just want to go to one.
Right. Just want to go to the chairperson.
Okay, so yeah, we can delete those two and then just leave Commissioner Mon on there.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, so with all these amendments, let's go back and do 13. Is there a motion to approve the Mellon registration letter?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, what item, 16, what action do you want to take?
I move approval on item 16.
Well, I thought you, okay,
Well,
you don't want to
but-
change any?
Where is, because this is, this is 16 right here, right?
That's right.
Okay, that's on the 457, but,
On the 410, or the 401. A.
It's this form. It's the authorized representatives of the county that can sign off on the 401A distributions.
is that this one?
Well, it looks like that one. It says authorized representative form.
Okay, exactly, that's the one though that has the three commissioners on it, right?
No, it says name of authorized representative at the bottom.
See, it's this one right here, isn't it?
When I pulled mine up on the computer, it had those filled in.
Yeah,
That
it should have.
on the agenda,
Here,
it
bring
looked
this.
different than it does now on your screen.
Okay.
Right. Because the agenda had the three names on it. All right, this is the ones, all right, so this is number 16 and number 17, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's 16 and 17 that I was trying to amend by having strictly the chairperson's name on it.
Okay, yes, we can do that.
Okay, I will make that then in the form of a motion for item 16 and 17.
We don't accept it.
Yeah, that's okay, because I'm so confused now. That makes sense.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. And I
Now.
apologize.
Now, do you want to approve them as amended?
I don't know, where am I? Oh, here? Yes. I move that items 16 and 17 be approved as amended.
Second.
I don't think so. I think we were voting on 14 and 15, weren't we?
Yeah, and we've already approved that. I mean,
Yeah. He amended something he didn't need to amend, but we did it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Mr. Chairman, do we need to accept the correct documents for those two items for 16 and 17? Because the ones online do have pre-filled out names in there.
Well, it's accepting as amended,
Okay.
Yeah.
and he's going to get the clerk the new.
In
Correct.
our packets are the ones like this.
Yep.
So I think we're good on that.
They're blank.
What? You have a question? Okay. All right. So do we, as amended, want to approve items 16 and 17?
Motion to
We can-
approve.
Second.
I thought we already
We've
did.
already done it.
All right.
Yeah, we've already done that.
Well, the blue line's still up there, so I wasn't sure. So we're dropping. You got it? All right. Just making sure. All right. Go ahead, sir.
So item 18 is pretty straightforward. We record keep forfeitures a little bit different than InvestTrust does, so we don't need two funds in the same plan. And so item 18 is just merging the two stable value funds into one account.
Okay. Questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
19. This
Number 19 is to allow the transfer of the self-directed brokerage accounts via ACAT. And so this is what TD Ameritrade needs to facilitate the transfer for, and this is on the 457 plan. And then after we get this to TD Ameritrade, we'll be sending out agreements for participants to open the accounts, but this just authorizes the transfer. And so
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
20?
20 is the same document except for the 401A plan. So this is just authorization to transfer over the SDO accounts.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
21?
21 is the loan policy that we have put together. And this is going to be very straightforward compared to what you have now. It's just mapping it over to our loan policy. We did include the loan consolidation procedures in there because they were not in the previous one. And then the only item that we removed from your current loan policy was the language around partial vesting, because that's no longer applicable since the change to the 100% vesting schedule back in, I think it was 2005. So,
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
May I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
On your loans, what is the time period that you're going to be able to reopen those to the participants?
as soon as the plan goes live.
Okay, and what about the consolidation loans? How long will you need for that?
We are actively working on that, and we'll be ready to move forward with the consolidation when the retirement board directs us to after the plan is live.
Yeah, the refinance loans or that process is something the board has to approve.
Right.
So we'd bring it back once they go live for the board to approve that.
Well, I know that the board, basically this past year got skipped because of this. And I was wondering how long they were going to need before.
Yeah, we will be ready when the plan's live.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We need to keep it to the agenda item.
sorry.
Sorry. But thanks for answering that. All right. Is there any other questions? Is there a motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
22?
22 is the self-directed account policy. This is essentially the agreement that you all had in place with InvestTrust. We did remove two requirements from this, and I'll explain the reasoning. The initial was that you had to have, they both focus around the $5,000 limit. And so the initial said you had to have at least $5,000 to open an SDO. And we don't need to have that requirement because of the fact we don't send money outside. And so everything will be streamlined on the website for participants. And so we don't actually have to have a limit. We don't have to have a limit to avoid sending multiple wires. So everything is done electronically on our system. And so we don't need to have, because everybody has to be 100% invested anyway. So this SDO account will essentially act like another just investment on the website. And then when it comes to transfers, that's the same thing. We don't need to have a $5,000 minimum on transfers because participants direct that. And we don't need to worry about sending a wire ACH out to TD Ameritrade because everything will be done electronically.
Questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
23.
You're fine. Oh, 23 is an update from BOK. If the board has any questions that we didn't address before.
Just an update from us. Again, I know we talked about a little bit about this earlier, but we are moving forward full steam ahead. Just to give you a little bit of update on what we're doing, we have weekly phone calls with John. We have multiple internal calls weekly. And then we have a scheduled call through the plan going live with InvestTrust every Friday morning. We are in a really good place right now. We have a lot of the data. We know what we need from InvestTrust, and our conversion team, excuse me, is working on that. So I really like where we're at. Everything's moving along smoothly, and we just want to make sure we get this done accurately for you all. So,
Very good. Is there any
Motion to
questions?
receive the report.
Is there a second?
A second. The same date, everything, because a while ago, and I know we're starting getting a field away from the agenda item, but the same date's going to be used for everything. When that date, whether it be whatever it be, let's say May 24th, or I'm sorry, June 24th, whatever that date is, though, but that's the date for everything. When you go live, you're live across the board. I can consolidate loans that day. I can do everything that day.
you will be able to do everything. The consolidation, my understanding, requires approval, but we will be ready for it when the plan goes live. So,
All right, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Mr. Treasurer.
Yes, fortunately, I just have one note on this so I can find my place. This board, over the last few years, in lieu of doing COLAs because of the impact it has upon the audits, et cetera, and this is on the defined benefit, not the defined contribution. But this board, over the last few years, then has given a one-time stipend to the members of the defined benefit. And in recent years, last couple of years at least, it's been $700. So I'm going to make the motion in just a second that we approve this. The cost to the retirement system would be $61,600, and there currently are 88 recipients who would receive this one-time pay adjustment or bonus or whatever. I move item 24.
Second.
If there's ever a time I'm sure they could need it, it's today. Any questions? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
25.
Sure. 25 has election results for both the active employee seat on the retirement board and the retiree representative. Brandon Holmes won the active seat, and Dan Matthews won the retiree seat. And both these seats go into effect July 1st of 2022, and they expire June 30th of 2025.
Is this to accept the results?
Correct.
Okay, is there a motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
26.
Could I just make one comment?
Sure.
I'm just going to congratulate Dan Matthews. I think he's going to make an excellent board member, and just want to say I've enjoyed working on this board. And anyway, I'm going to miss seeing you all, but I will be at the next board meeting.
In fact, that's why I was holding off on my comments, because I definitely want to publicly congratulate you and thank you for all the good work you've done on this board, as well as the many years of successful employment you had with us in the county.
Likewise. All right.
26 is for the retirement of Mark McMichael. He worked in facilities for 14 and a half years. He qualifies for retirement.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 27 is for Blackman Goebel. He worked for District 2, qualifies for retirement.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 28 is for Troy Lake. He's from the jail trust. He qualifies for retirement.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 29 is for Mr. William Foster with the Public Defender's Office. He qualifies for retirement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any citizens to speak before the retirement board? Board comments? Hannah?
I just wanted to say congratulations to Brandon, congratulations to Dan, and a big thank you to Mark for serving on the board.
You stole my line.
We'll see you next week, next month. Yep.
Okay. Donna? Keith?
Apologize for not being here last week, but I sent a message to the commissioner. It was almost impossible for me to get here, so I do appreciate your time for today.
I have nothing else.
Thanks, Mark, for your service. Danny?
Mr. Hooten apologizes for not being here today. He is celebrating his 20th wedding anniversary and his son's graduation.
I move apology not be accepted.
Wait a minute. Mine's 41 today, so 41 years today, so my anniversary's, my wife has still put up with me.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversaries.
And thank you to Mark for your service on this retirement board, and congrats to Brandon.
Well, same here. I want to congratulate Brandon and Mark. We're going to miss you. And congratulations to Dan Matthews also. And I had my first anniversary Saturday.
Happy anniversary. Brandon?
Good.
Okay, is there any new business? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. I gotta go.
Oh, I'm exhausted.
Keith, which foot is it?
Huh?
Which foot is it?
That one? That's the right one. That's why I can't drive. I couldn't drive for 3 weeks. My poor wife had to chauffeur me. That was not fun. I had one client call me and says, I really need you to come in. So he sent a driver